Hello there, and today we took a trip to the Lego store located in Bluewater, and of course they had the Venator in the window again, an awesome Lego display as with any Lego store. But more importantly, it was the first time I got to see the new Lego Eiffel Tower in person. It's huge even next to the Venator, and just look at all the detail with the trees at the bottom. It is actually pretty tall. You can see it's the height of the display units, but it does come with that hefty price tag. And if we take a look at the other side where they've got the Superpower Play advertisements, you can see all the new Sonic sets, and they even had Brian's Nissan Skyline, which again is cheaper in Asda. Now, I actually got to see the last year's Christmas set on display here, which it was at the Leicester store. However, you had to ask to see the boxes, and it did have boxes for both around this display, and my mum particularly liked this Christmas tree. We took a look at what minifigures we are. My fiance did get Cooper, who is in the next Lego Dreams magazine, and after some time of waiting, and it is really fun, you go in there, just whack your hand down and you get your character. Mine being Izzy from Lego Dreams again, so some nice advertising. Speaking of which, you can see the new diorama and Ghost, and they even had the AT-AT with a few funny bits, bugs in the back there, and they even had a snowtrooper crushed under one of the back legs, and also this snowtrooper battle pack, which is retiring at the end of the year. You can see a few of the newer sets here, even Mando's M1 on display. And then they have some other ones, and they also had all the Indiana Jones one, which was cool to see. It's just a shame we didn't get that Temple of Doom set. And they had plenty of Christmas stuff. It's still October, and it's crazy how much Christmas stuff they had. I do like the croissant for the mouth of the gingerbread there, and they even had the Home Alone house, which is pretty sizable compared to what I thought it was. And of course, we have these polar bears ready to put up in November. Now, the Pick-a-Brick wall did have some interesting elements, fires of both sizes, and also had some really nice transparent pieces, including the purple sparkly ones. We'll take a look at most of these later, as I did pick up a few of what you can see, and even some bricks that I didn't get photos of, but these cobwebs were great time for Halloween, and they had a few other Halloween bits like these bones you can see on screen now, as well as a few orange and Halloween coloured things to build your Halloween decorations. So of course I grabbed a box, and as you can't see, I did actually manage to close a lid on this, but they had another brick showcase brought to us by Brickish, just like the one we saw in Stratford. And of course they made their own decorations using the pap wall and the new minifigure parts we've got for Halloween. Now, they also had all the Lego Marvel CMF minifigures on display, and seeing them here, I really want to pick up Beast and Storm as they look so cool, and I'm actually rewatching the X-Men animated series, so perhaps that is also why, but I definitely have to pick up some more of them. And of course, right at the front, they had their own builds, and I really like the Vampire Duck. Now, I missed it originally, but in the window, they also had the Spider-Man post, and the cool thing about this is the spiders that they added. And of course, I rode the slide at Bluewater. They did have a slide coming down one of the escalators, which did block off the escalator, but gave us a more interesting way to go down. So you can see I rode this. I did only ride it once, but I've looped the video just so you can see how it works. And of course, my fiance also gave it a slide. But that was really fun for World Play Day, even though it's going on all week. So that had been going on till Sunday. And then we stopped off in McDonald's for lunch, where they had Squishmallow toys, which was interesting, and of course popped to a few other shops. They had this cool Clone Wars poster still up from however long ago, and HMV had some cool Funkos on sale, but nothing too interesting. They did have Tyler Durif from Kenobi, but I already have her, so didn't pick up anything. And also in game, they had this cool Phase 2 Clone Trooper, which I might go back for at some point. It was pretty pricey, but of course out of the corner of your eye, you might be able to see the baby snips here for the Bounty Line, and I definitely went back and picked that up, so you can get a look at that later on. But of course the focus is on this Pab Cup, and of course all the other Lego I got today, which isn't a lot, but there is some. So after I record, of course I will count all these pieces for you, and in fact I usually leave it as a community poll or a image display on the community tab. I'm going to add it on to this video. You can see here a bunch of all the prices for the different pieces, and at the bottom the total of how much it cost, which is always a steal. My last Pick-a-Brick cup was worth over £85, and of course I only spent £14.24 because a cup is 15 quid, and with this sticker I save 75p, which is very nice. Now, I have already recorded me delving into these pieces for 15 minutes and thought, you know what, scrap that. It'd be easier if I got the pieces out already and rather dive through them and miss a few pieces. I have them ready to show you. And in refilling this pab cup, I didn't do too good a job. I must have a nick for filling them in Lego stores because I don't know if you can tell, it's sort of bulging at the top. You can probably see all the pieces in the middle, and I've still got not only these pieces to fit in, but also all the pieces I've taken out, which there are some pretty sizable elements. So I don't know what it is. Perhaps it's just the aura of the Lego store that enables me to fill pab cups a lot better. But perhaps I'll record next time I'm in a Lego store. I'll record sort of or take photos of how I fill the cup just to give you an upper hand, because I definitely couldn't do it here. Well, if I spent enough time perhaps, but of course these are all the pieces that I got in today's cup, and there were some Halloween oranges and greens, and of course you have all the little flames. So I decided, you know what, let's build a pumpkin, and I'm pretty pleased with how my pumpkin's turned out. It looks like it has a bow tie. Perhaps if this was a bit further down it'd be a nice bow tie. These are the pieces that are currently on the pick a brick wall. You can see it is double-sided. It makes a nice Halloween ornament, so I'm probably going to end up keeping this built. It just looks really cool and is really simple. They also had the tyres, which I got because I really like the spools, and if you're getting half of a tyre, you might as well get the rubber bit around the end. It really doesn't take up that much space. So you do also get a base for these, which has the 4 wheels and saves you trying to plate it up yourself. So if you wanted to build a car, perhaps even a Halloween themed car, you really can do. There is so much on the pick a brick wall. There always is usually these elements. I haven't seen these wheels before, but there's always some sort of wheel with the car base or some door and window elements like so. I have actually picked up the glass with these, as I did pick up some glass beforehand because I had some of the empty frames that had come in other sets, which probably city sets, and I had some window shutters or something that I didn't like, so they're somewhere in my collection. But you can build buildings with these windows and doors, cars, or even like this, a pumpkin, and other simple builds that just require a few bricks. So you can see that some of the pieces got. They also have this element which is a bit more interesting than the wheels. I don't think I've seen it before. I assume this is part of some boat, and actually I'll probably have a look to see if this is on the Steamboat Willie, which it could really go well with because it's like them bits that stick up where you've got the rudder underneath, and I suppose it's sort of some turbine top half with the cover. But I just feel like these are from some sort of boat, and perhaps I have to build a boat with these and the pirate pack, which was a fun VIP pack that we got this month, as well as all the other gift with purchases. I got a total of 3 with my order, but that will be a video for tomorrow. I'm going away this week on 2 separate journeys, so I'll be recording a bunch of videos early. So not only do you have this Lego store trip, you also have my whole October online order to look at tomorrow, as well as lo-fi ideas, entries, and upgrading the city throughout the week. So hopefully after my first trip, I'm back on Friday, so I should be able to get a video up on Friday for you of the Lego stores that I've visited by then. And over the weekend, I've got a few dioramas and another mech mock to show off, so I've got plenty of stuff to keep you entertained throughout the week. And at the pick a brick wall, they had a few pieces I've never seen before. You've just seen this sort of fence piece, which is quite interesting, and a giant slope. I mean, it's nearly the width of my palm here. It is huge. I have no idea what I'm going to use this for, but some big Star Wars ships, perhaps even for the front of an A-wing or something like that, they'll definitely come in handy. And of course, it's Halloween. I had to pick up some cobwebs. These are a fairly new piece. I haven't really seen them in any sets that I've picked up at least, and they're just really cool. They've got these 2 little bar pieces on the bottom here and the longer bar on the top, and they even have a stud in the middle where you can put a spider. So I definitely add a few of these to my city before Halloween is up. And they also had a few flame pieces, some medium and small pieces. They didn't have any of the bigger ones with a cool like blend of colours, which I do really like, but I picked up a few of them because you can never go wrong, especially with the candelabras that I picked up in my last pick a brick. These would go great if I had that white candle piece. I'm going to keep my eye out this week, and hopefully I can find it in one of the other 2 Lego stores I'm about to visit. But they also had this 1x1 round brick, which again, I picked up a few. A lot of these bricks were just there, and like these hinge elements, I just pick up because these elements can really break a bit, and Actually, I did have an accident with my Lego storage tubs that I got from home base, and they did spill, made a huge mess, but that's what I spent my whole of yesterday doing, and I finally cleaned it up after dinner. This happened right in the morning, and it did take me a whole day to put them back. So I guess there's a downside of the Lego storage tubs. If you knock them over, it is a huge mess, and you do have to then resort out all the bricks. There were some bricks in different drawers that weren't meant to be there. There are also some bricks from my other two units which didn't fall over, didn't wobble, didn't anything, but somehow they managed to get in there. So perhaps I had a few resting on top. But that is sorted, and it does mean I lost a day of recording, but I'm sure I'll be able to make it up. They had a few of these dish pieces, which are in a nice trans blue. These look really cool, especially because they were used, well, I think it was a 4x4 that was used in Harry Potter for the Patronus, and these can definitely be used in Star Wars as some force push projectile, or even just a regular projectile. They had a few of these, which I had like 2 grey ones to go for my horses, so I got them in black and got enough for hopefully all my horses. I got 6. I don't think I've got more than 6 horses, but I'm sure there is a chance I'll be surprised. Again, another Halloween element is this bone, which I had to pick up a few handfuls of. I got some brackets, and one of the last times I went to the pub wall, I did get, I think it was this piece that I expected to get, and there were some of the flat non-corner elements, so I ended up with like 2 of these. So I did get a handful of these and 2 of the corner elements to replace the ones that I mistook for the other piece. And they did have a bunch of translucent pieces. I've actually forgot another piece, which did say I've already recorded this and tried to find all the pieces, so it's lucky I did, otherwise I would have forgotten this blue piece. But they had these all mixed up into a drawer, and again, I've not seen these red 1x2 bricks. I've definitely seen, and especially in the friend set, I think they use a few of these for the windows, and it's always cool to have some sort of watery pieces. But these are the real interesting piece from that bundle. You can see it's got some glitter sort of molded into it, or I don't think that's printed on. I'm pretty sure they've molded it into the plastic, and it's a nice trans purple colour, and this will be really interesting to add. I don't know where, but we'll definitely find a use for it. And they also had some different 1x2 tiles. I think I did actually manage to find a 1x2 masonry brick. They didn't have any masonry bricks, I don't think, that I remembered. There was a guy there looking for the grey ones. They didn't have the grey ones, they didn't have the tan ones or the white ones, and they only actually had one of the masonry bricks in this nougat colour in with these 1x2 plates. So that is somewhere in the cup. Not going to look for it, but picked up some 1x2s. They're always handy to have. And again, these red slopes, I don't know really when I'll use them, but I definitely have made a use out of a lot of these slopes that I didn't expect across my mocks and everything. So had to pick some up. And the main brick that I picked up, or plate or tile even, is this radiator grille piece, which is in a light bluish grey. I'm going to need this for one of my mocks, I think. Hopefully the video will be out by the end of the week, if not the weekend. Keep an eye out for one of my mocks that definitely uses a bunch of these pieces. I've got to have over 100 of these in the Pab Cup. You'll see the numbers on screen now. I definitely think this was a successful pick-a-brick purchase. You've already seen the value of this cup. I'll put that bottom left on screen now just to remind you. And I did only spend £14.24. So these Pab Cups are definitely well worth your money. And it is not the only thing I picked up today, as my mum was building some Halloween themed minifigures. She saw the new Halloween head, which of course I do have already in my city. But she only wanted 2 of them, and of course allowed me to build the 3rd minifigure. So I had to pick up these new brick torsos. Well, the new as in I don't have the colours. They're not too new, but they did have both the light blue and the bright orange. So I picked them up. I had to pick up the unicorn head. I did pass on it last time, but it's just a unique element, and well, it's a completely unique mould. I don't think we've seen this anywhere else. Perhaps this was used from the video line. And it does have the horn and the hairpiece fully built in, so I was able to get the other torso. And I also got this chicken, which I've ordered 2 off the standard pick-a-brick online, but they were in white. This is a brown chicken, so adds a bit of a variety to my Lego rooftop farm, which is coming. Of course, I have to build the whole sea tower first, but it is on its way. And They are quite nice pieces. I am a big fan of these brick torsos. I already have the red, the blue and the green, I think it is, outside my Lego store in my city. And I do have this minifigure here, which I am going to be pulling apart. He is no longer a policeman. I'm going to steal the legs for this orange brick. And my other 3 brick men do have these glasses wearing Lego faces. And they're just sort of the cool dudes in their Lego brick outfits. So I'm going to steal the head and actually whack this well, and now we've got 2 more characters to add to the other bricks. Perhaps at some point I have to build some sort of balcony or somewhere for these to stand above the Lego store. Perhaps the Lego Museum can have a balcony and they can overlook the whole crowd of people trying to cram themselves into the Lego store. But I'm very happy I got to pick up both these bricks, and also the chicken, which as an accessory to the minifigure ain't too bad. Again, the torso, this character and the chicken are valued about £2 because you're paying £6 for the 3 minifigures, and this takes up a third of the slot. So that isn't at all too bad. I just need to find some other parts for this policeman. And of course you saw it earlier in the video. Not only did I pick up this Squishmallow at McDonald's, which is really cool to be getting, I wonder if we'll ever get any miniature Lego builds in a Happy Meal, which probably won't be this Lego, it'll probably be Duplo, because it's aimed at that younger audience, but if it was this Lego, they'd be just as popular as the Pokemon cards. And I did pick up this Baby Snips with the Dandelion, which is really cool and will look great on my display, but that is the Pab Cup and also the Builder minifigure, as well as what I did at the Lego store. And this was a few days ago, so I am recording this a bit later than usual thanks to my spillage that I mentioned earlier on in the video. But before I'd go, I'd just like to let you know that starting October the 28th there is going to be a new line of polls which is going to ride out this year, where you can decide the best Star Wars set, or at least your favourite Star Wars set. It's going to be a majorative decision which we'll decide it, and I'll make a video on it at the end of the year. But the first round will be 8 lots of 3 polls, where each poll will have 2 sets going through to, I guess, the round of 16, which is also the quarterfinal, because then the next lot of polls will have 4 sets where only 1 will get through, which is a lot harsher than letting 2 through when there's only 3 of them. But they'll be ordered by their price, with the cheaper sets going off against other cheaper sets and the expensive sets going against the other expensive sets, which I think is one of the best ways that they can thin out the competition, especially because you're comparing them in their own sort of categories. And then towards December I'll have a final poll a week before the video where the final 4 sets will go head to head. So keep an eye out on the community tab. The first poll is the 28th, and for these early polls they're going to be every 3 days. So do be sure you're checking up on them, as after 3 days the vote will be locked, and whatever I see has the highest percentage, whichever 2 sets, will be locked in for the next round. So I hope you enjoy that. It's a way to get you guys involved on the channel, and it's just a bit of fun to decide your favourite Star Wars set. So I hope you enjoyed the minifigures, I hope you enjoyed the Pab and the slide at Bluewater, which was really fun to ride. But that is all for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and may the bricks be with you always.